Let's get into it. The Dally-Van
This Mike
clips.
Johnson thing is really interesting.
This should be edited by Thinking Monk, who I'm good buddies. Well, I'm not good buddies with, but I follow him on Twitter, and he follows me as well. And we were growing around the same pace. So let's get into it. Let's see what the TYT has to say about the Epstein stuff. I have this feeling that they're just going to be okay with it because, unfortunately, these two people are fucking insane. Oh, wait, hold on. You can't even see Anna here. I need to make this smaller and make this bigger. Yeah. All right. Can I make myself smaller? Because that'd be cool. Oh, you know what? There we go. Less intrusive.
And no, I don't think he's lying. I think he's telling the truth.
Oh, okay. So Mike Johnson is not lying about Trump being an informant for the FBI. Okay, cool. Cool. Right off the rip.
You think that Trump was an FBI informant?
Yes, I do.
Oh, interesting. Why do you think that?
Number one, that's a super weird thing to make up. You don't just slip up and go.
Okay. Really good critical analysis there, Cenk. I'm so surprised that you are always attacking Democrats, but now you're going to defend. Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, John Idaho is a CIA agent. You're like, wait, what? Why would that even pop into your head? Okay, because it's also very specific. It's not, oh, he helped loosely. He said he was an FBI informant.
No, come on. If we're being honest, Mike was just reaching for words that sound good. He's like, oh, this guy helped. This guy told on Epstein to the FBI and stuff. He was an FBI informant. You know, he was like, he was doing this in real time. What the fuck? Yeah, apparently he's already walked it back. Wait, hello? I'm sorry. I need to listen to that again. 1 second.
This Mike Johnson thing is really interesting. And no, I don't think he's lying. I think he's telling the truth.
You think that Trump was an FBI informant?
Yes, I do.
Oh, interesting. Why do you think that?
Okay. Maybe he makes a good argument. Come on, man.
Bruh. Number one, that's a super weird thing to make up. You don't just slip up and go, oh yeah, John Idaho is a CIA agent. You're like, wait, what? Why would that even pop into your head?
Why would Mike Johnson, why would he even know that? Oh, am I retarded? Was he like a former FBI director? What do you mean slip up? Like, is this just a well-known thing that everybody except the entirety of the American public? Why would you think he would even have that information? Well, like, what?
Okay, because it's also very specific. It's not, oh, he helped loosely. He said he was.
It literally was. He helped loosely. You could tell he was just reaching for stupid shit. Oh my God. Let's just to watch this again. It was obviously him just like, oh, he's an informant, basically. Like
saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI.
I stopped watching TYT a long time ago. I can't believe how crazy they've gone. I know, dude. I used to watch TYT, but then I saw them attack Sam Harris nonstop and paint him as like this hardcore like guy who wants to destroy Islam. And it's like, dude, he's anti-religion. He wants to destroy all religions. But like, they're okay with him bashing Christianity, Catholicism, Judaism. But as soon as he says something about Islam, it's like, oh, you're racist. It's like, thanks, man. That was a really deep, insightful, fucking thoughtful analysis of what an atheist is saying about a religion. Thank you so much. You were so well spoken, you absolute dipshit. Fucking Cenk Uygur is one of the worst goddamn people on earth. The fact that there's only like 5 people worse than him on this planet, and fucking his little nephew is fucking top of that list. Goddamn Hassan Piker.
Informant to try to take this stuff down. The president
clearly
knows.
he's not, like, how the fuck are you gonna say, well, clearly he had access to the information? He's waffling right here. He's not confident in what he's saying. Look at his fucking face. It's guilty as fuck. Jesus Christ.
FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has
like you kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He's an FBI informant and tried to take this down. Like, do you think he's making a strong statement here of like Donald Trump formerly was like recognized? He was like a CIA, he was a confidential informant to the FBI for Epstein. Like why if even if that was true, why would he know it and no one else has leaked or talked about this bullshit? Why wouldn't Trump say this? What a stupid fucking. Okay, sorry. So
Exactly.
Cenk believes that was like an accidental slip from a very, very, very real and true piece of information. All right.
The FBI informant.
I know, but when a politician speaks, they're usually lying, and oftentimes they say very.
Oh my god. This is our political commentary? Like I'm watching an episode of House MD? When a politician speaks, they're usually lying. This is the level of analysis we get? Thank you.
Specific things that end up being.
I know, but think about it.
Okay.
Being an FBI informant is a disaster. That is not a thing that Trump would want anyone to know. Why? Because it's a bad idea to turn in a child predator? No. No, because usually they don't just come and go, hey, Bob, down the street, you want to be an FBI informant? No, they turn you into an FBI informant after they have evidence against you.
Oh my. You know what? You're right. You're right.
Oh my god. Someone needs to shoot me. I'm glad I left America, dude. This is crazy.
This can't be real life. Is this actually like, bro, my media?
I hadn't even considered that. You're
Yeah,
right.
so that's why when he slips up, he even has like this little hitch in his head where he goes like, oh, oops, I shouldn't have said that. You can almost see it
Can
in the
we
video.
cue that video up again? Yeah, that's actually a really good point, Cenk. I hadn't thought about that.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Okay, so
There's more on that in a second, but yeah, let's see if we can see when he says it and how he reacts immediately after.
And he's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down.
Well, also, he didn't kick him out when he first heard the rumor. He waited for one time and then a second time. Then he kicked him out, but okay.
Did you see it? He's like, he was an FBI informant. He did that. Like, oh wait, I shouldn't have said that, right? So now I'm overinterpreting. You can say, hey, don't worry about the video. Look, I didn't see what you saw. That's not important. What's important is he said he was an FBI informant. That is not a random thing you make up. Then
Why is it that the far left runs more damage to the Democratic Party than the MAGA does, or the Republicans do? I don't understand. I don't understand why, like, Kyle Kalinske, Crystal Ball, Hassan Piker, Sam Cedar, Emma Vigeland, all of these people, all these people, all they do is cannibalize the Democrats. That's all they do. You can go watch Hassan. I challenge you. If you get bored one day and you have 9 hours to spare, go watch Hassan Piker stream for one day. Just one fucking day. You will see him talk shit on Democrats 90% of the time. I watched a video of Hassan Piker watching Tucker Carlson. You know what he said? He said Tucker Carlson is a Nazi and you shouldn't watch him. And then he uncritically watched a 2-hour interview with Tucker Carlson and a historian claiming that Jewish money or whatever are like Nazis and rewriting like the Holocaust stuff. And then he didn't critically engage with anything that's being said. He didn't really respond to anything. And at the very end of the video, he just said everything he just said is true. Like, at what point when you're agreeing with people that you deem Nazis, at what point when you are agreeing with Nazis that you have to go, maybe I'm saying some shit that's on the wrong side of history? Like, at what point, where's that line? Like, so you have people like Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit, who was hugely against Israel, not because Israel is doing a genocide in their book, but because they're Nazis. And he doesn't like Jewish people, and he's anti-Semitic. And then you get people like Nick Fuentes, who is literally a neo-Nazi, who thinks that Israel controls every aspect of our media and is secretly running our government through like the ADP or not ADP, but ADL and all this other, or one of the two. Anyway, you have Nick Fuentes doing that. You have Candace Owens doing that, and then you have there was another one like Sam Hyde. And then for some reason, you have Hassan and his little group of guys all saying the same thing. It's weird that the radical left and the radical right are on the same exact page, and the page is fuck Israel. At some point, you have to go, hold on, why are these people in agreement? And why is it they both spend a majority of their time attacking the Democratic Party? Hassan Piker is the biggest bludgeon against Democrats that we could ever have. And he's the largest left-wing political commentator on the planet. When Kamala Harris was running for president, he would not condone voting for her. He would not use his platform to talk about how voting for her would be better than Donald Trump. And then at the end of it, he didn't even say to his viewers that they should vote. We saw Michigan, Dearborn, Michigan. I think it was Dearborn, Michigan. We saw a 70-point swing to the third party system, the third, which is the Green Party or Independent Party, that voted for Jill Stein over Kamala Harris. And then this dumb motherfucker still comes out every day and says that there is no way that Kamala Harris would be as she would be just as bad as Donald Trump on Israel and Gaza. Really? The guy who's giving carte blanche to the far right government of Israel to do whatever the fuck they want? Like, if you truly believe that Israel is doing bad things and you truly believe that a genocide is going on, wouldn't you want a government in play that is not the government that that party wanted? Clearly, Netanyahu wanted Donald Trump in office. He wanted that. Now, why did he want that? What was his motivation for wanting that? Because he knows that Donald Trump is going to be easier on him when he's committing whatever you believe to be the war crimes over there are. And I believe that he is committing some war crimes. But obviously, even if, let's say, it's a 15% difference of their character, a 15% difference of the ground level effect is a massive difference, and that's worth voting for. Like, it's like even Biden was starting to hold some spending hostage until like certain negotiations were done. What's up, Nikki? I was missing you, dear. I'm so glad you're back. Hope you're good. So, like, why is it that our left-wing apparatus always spends a majority of its time attacking our left-wing party, and meanwhile the opposite happens on the right? Like, you can have actual straight-up neo-Nazis, you can actually have straight-up, racists, you can have old-school neocons, you can have MAGA, you can have libertarians, you can have independents, and they can all have varying different levels of degrees and information and beliefs and thought patterns and processes and all of these things. And when they come together, you know what they are? They're a coalition. They work together. They come out and vote. Like, the Republican Party truly believe that in 2020 the vote was stolen from them. They believe that their vote was taken from them and it was a illegitimate election, sorry. Which is fucking insane. But you know what's crazy? The next election, guess what happened? They came out and voted again. How do you get people to vote in a system where they think their vote doesn't matter? Meanwhile, we can't even convince people of our own party to vote because they're stuck on single party issues. I'm sorry, Israel-Palestine is the most important thing in the world. Like, we have other issues to talk about. Like, right now, we're seeing trans rights being completely removed from the military. We're seeing dial-backs on trans issues. We're seeing vaccines being stripped from fucking shelves. We're seeing attacks on so many different other parts of our society. And it's like, what the fuck are we doing? Why weren't we like paying attention to these other issues other than this one particular issue over here? And that's the only thing that matters. And fuck the rest of the world. We'll send the rest of the world in a fucking grenade in a handbasket because this one issue is the only thing we care about. And then now they sit around and complain about those things being stripped away from them. It's like, fuck you, dude. You didn't vote. You didn't participate. You didn't care. Like, no, man. You have to vote for the lesser of two evils. Because when your rights are stripped away, why would we come defend you? Why would any Democrat get off their ass to defend the people that don't support their party? Why would they do that? All you did was bash and shit talk the Democrats. And now we're seeing a rise of populism in the Democratic Party. And it's dangerous. Populism is dangerous, okay? It's what got Trump in office now. It's why we're dealing with the bullshit that we're dealing with now.
And why is he walking it back today? He's walking it back today because people are going to start asking the question I'm asking, which is why? Why was he an FBI informant? And the number one group of people who are FBI informants are mobsters, as an example, who were caught and are going to go to prison for 20, 30 years or the rest of their life unless they turn on their boss, right? And so then they become an informant. Nobody ever becomes an informant out of the blue. Trump wasn't working at the FBI.
What a stupid fucking take. You know, you could just be an informant because, like, you can have access to a thing and the government can reach out and be like, hey, man, you don't have to, like, necessarily put someone's balls in a vice to make them an informant. Hell, some people can opt into being an informant. Like, if you get some juicy information from someone about a crime or something, and you can go out to the FBI and say, hey, I have an in with these people, whatever, like, and then they might vet you and check that shit out. But you don't have to necessarily flip someone. My comment got filtered. I should have nothing on that. I'm sorry. What does that mean? I have all moderation off. So, like, you guys can even come in and say, like the worst shit in the world if you wanted to. Because I try not to like censor anybody on anything, even if you guys say unhinged shit. Like, put it out there. If you say something truly crazy, I'll try and refute it. But you know what I mean?
Flips him into an informant. So then you can't help but ask, why? What did Trump do?
That's such a good point, and I hadn't thought of that. Now, is that true though, that no one is ever an FBI informant unless they're like essentially coerced into doing it because they engaged in wrongdoing and they don't want to be prosecuted for it?
So no, I can't say that it's true.
At least Anna gave him moderate pushback. That's good. At least he's owning the fuck. Aw, Nikki, it's okay. I'm so sorry, darling. This particular bad headspace has just not let up and I can't shake it. My psychiatrist has changed a lot. And they're literally kicking me in the head. My dear, I wish I could find some way to help you. Just know that I love you and we're always here for you. You can always message me as well. I'm a little bad with my phone, but talk to me. I am here for you, girl.
100% of the time, but is it true an overwhelming percentage of the time? Yes. So I can envision a couple of scenarios. Somebody's maybe in a family, or
2 weeks ago, Mike Collins said
I
this.
want to get to ask my question, which was, party unity, the Epstein files. I mean, do you think Trump's in there?
Yeah, I'm sure he's in there because he's the one that was telling the FBI about it. He's the one that kicked the guy out of Mar-a-Lago and then called the FBI. Yeah, he's in there.
So, what's going to happen? Are you going to vote to release him or vote to keep him?
Oh, we need to release him.
What about you?
I have no problem releasing him, but you've got to go through.
So this is the talking points they all got.
Nice. You got to go through the judicial. We all know that. The problem is, it'd be our luck that somebody's going to bleep somebody that's supposed to be protected, and then what?
Yeah, well,
so they've got to go through and
victims' names and all that stuff.
They've got to go through and fix all of it. Yeah. And then, of course, now you got judges that are saying, I'm not going to release anything grand jury.
or in a gathering that they.
So here's another strange thing. It's weird that like the messaging of the right is always on the same page. The messaging on the left is not the same. And like the left also hurts so many people that just want to destroy the party. It's so crazy. It's crazy.
Didn't realize had bad guys in it, and then the FBI approaches them and says, "You're a good guy. You were in this gathering, but you didn't know. But they're mobsters. So can you be an informant for us because you would save a lot of lives, or etc." So it's not impossible, but the reason why that's very rare is because most of the time the standard operating procedure is you flip people into becoming informants.
But Cenk, it's amazing because now what we're talking about at this moment sheds some light on what is being referenced in this quote that I'm about to read to you. So this is Brad Andrews, an attorney who represents many of Epstein's victims. So this individual told reporters that Trump has done an about.
Don't isolate too hard, Nikki. We need you around, my dear. Remember, you are the lifter of sorrow, okay? And if it's our turn to lift your sorrow, we will happily hold that chalice.
Face on Epstein since 2009. Edward said that when he spoke to Trump in 2009, Trump was friendly to the victim's plight and did not think that it was a hoax and was trying to help.
Like, who the fuck cares? Trump says all sorts of shit to appease. Why are we analyzing Trump's quotes like this is a serious person? Trump also said that he wishes the best for Ghislaine and hopes that, she has a good time in jail or whatever, right? Like, why are we analyzing any of this guy's quotes as a serious thing?
Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison, and so a lot of people want to know if she's going to turn in powerful people. And I know you've talked in the past about Prince Andrew,
and
criticized Bill Clinton's behavior. I'm wondering, do you feel that she's going to turn in powerful men? How do you see that working out?
I don't know. I haven't really been following it too much. I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well, whatever it is. I don't know the situation with Prince Andrew. Just don't know. Not aware of it.
Like, he just says a lot of retarded shit.
And now it seems like all of a sudden somebody is in his ear and he's not, Edward said. So I'm hoping he'll come back to where he was back in 2009, be on the side of the victims and stand with us. Now, go ahead.
Jumping in again there. So guys, look, there is some percentage chance, you can put any percentage, usually based on your perspective on what that is, that Trump just volunteered because he knew Epstein, he did, right? So that makes it plausible. And he was in the same social circle, so that makes it plausible that Trump raised his hand and said, hey, I'd like to help your investigations, right? Okay. Or the reason why the attorney for the victims is saying, oh yeah, back in the day Trump was really helpful was because he was an FBI informant who was forced to be helpful and was helpful to the victims back then. So that's interesting and amazing in and of itself. But then what he's alluding to is perhaps more remarkable. Why did he switch to now being opposed to the investigations and calling them a hoax when the attorney knows, the victims know, everybody knows, he knows it's not a hoax. He was in fact involved in it. So now it's because Mike Johnson, maybe he had a verbal hiccup, right? But when the attorneys for the victims confirm that Trump did help, it shows that he was involved. And again, normally they don't pick somebody out of the street to be involved. They pick some.
I don't think his attorneys confirmed in any meaningful sense. No, what I feel like I remember watching one guy on TV say something like, I called Trump and he said that, like, he gave me a little bit of information about him working with Epstein and he didn't try to attack us. Like, that was it, right? What is he referencing? Something else? Was there something different besides that one fucking call? Who was I debating? It wasn't Rob Noor. It was somebody else who was trying to, it was that one stupid conservative guy who was like, oh, didn't you know that Trump actually helped the FBI? He gave a public statement or something. Oh, wait, the guy tweeted about it. Who's got the tweets? And it was like, no, he didn't. What the fuck? There's no deposition. There's no log or record or court filing or anything with Trump testifying or being deposed related to Epstein. And then it was just this one stupid fucking phone call, or it was like interview for media where the guy was like, oh yeah, he called me once and it was chill. I think this is what he's referring to. But he's vindicated. Although I did misspeak a bit and there was never an official deposition or testimony, Trump did in fact work with prosecutors in 2009. Receipts. You said he testified in that criminal proceeding?
He testified again, I believe he gave a statement to the authorities. He might not have actually testified.
I just fact-checked it. No, there.
This debate, my God, dude, Republicans don't have a strong soldier anymore. They don't. I don't. I watched Charlie Kirk get absolutely was he at Cambridge? Was that where he was? Where a bunch of students just ripped him apart. Charlie Kirk is supposed to be one of the strongest soldiers for the Republican Party. And the fact that a bunch of people in Cambridge, a country that's not even their own, because I think he was over in UK or something, which is crazy because, like, as soon as Charlie Kirk goes to a education system where they actually teach critical thought, he gets eviscerated. Meanwhile, when he goes to our college campuses, people can't do shit correctly. But Charlie Kirk got dog walked, okay? Every Republican that I've seen step to the stage gets their ass kicked these days, which is crazy because a few years ago, at least it was like a back and forth between both sides, and both of them had, blemishes and good points and other stuff to like go around. But right now, either I'm getting politically captured by all the crazy shit that's happening and I'm falling into my own echo chamber, which is always a possibility, or Republicans are just getting way worse at debate. The real test will be when Hassan Piker debates Charlie Kirk. Let's see here, at Dartmouth. I think that's very soon, and we will be doing that one live. Like, I'll be watching that when it comes out here on stream. I'm torn because I want to see Charlie Kirk get eviscerated, but I think Charlie Kirk took the debate that he did with Hassan because he knows that Hassan is kind of a dipshit. And Hassan is just going to call him racist instead of like trying to refute his points, because Hassan doesn't know anything about fucking anything. Listening to Hassan try to explain virtually anything is like bashing your face into a fucking wall at full speed. And the fact that he's got 40,000 concurrent viewers almost all the time is absolutely insane. Like, it's absolutely fucking mind rot. And a majority of people just watch Hassan because he's like left and he's attractive. But when they actually get into like his policies and stuff that he actually wants to do, I mean, you're talking about a guy who said that killing Israel babies is okay because technically they're settlers. I'm not making that up. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. Jesus Christ.
There was no testimony.
He gave testimony. I'm sorry. He gave testimony. He did not testify. And that's confirmed by the DOJ. The DOJ is confirmed.
He gave testimony where? For what? I don't think this happened ever. I don't think he ever was interviewed or deposed or gave any statements about Epstein.
He did. I guarantee.
The only thing that I can say.
Okay, I think this is what they're talking about, right?
That I can say about President Trump is that he is the only person who, in 2009, when I served a lot of subpoenas on a lot of people, or at least gave notice to some pretty connected people that I wanted to talk to them. He is the only person who picked up the phone and said, let's just talk. I'll give you as much time as you want. I'll tell you what you need to know, and was very helpful in the information that he gave, and gave no indication whatsoever that he was involved in anything untoward whatsoever, but had good information.
Whoa, that means he's like completely free of all charges because he was willing to have a conversation. Oh my God. Bro, if you don't testify in a court of law where you pledge to tell the truth, I don't give a fuck about your statement on a case about law. Okay, get the fuck out of here. Unless you're willing to walk in that goddamn courtroom, put your balls on the table, and drop the fucking hammer. You being nice to a guy calling around doesn't mean shit to me. He's got to put his fucking neck on the line. I know, bro. It's like trying to be inspirational. Like, dude, these Republicans, there's no hope. There's no hope. There's no hope. These people want kings. There's nothing here. At least with Bush, I could have a decent conversation about the things that he wants to do. And we can have a decent back and forth about, you know, policy and like what's happening and like the war in Iraq and about the lie. Like, you can go into actual conversations here. This guy is just fucking, like, Trump is just a king. There's nothing about it. Like, he's defying the courts. He's defying the law. He's literally sending military personnel into cities that are not asking for it, abusing state rights, abusing his power. He's massively overreaching, more than any other president in the history of presidents have ever done. There's nothing, dude.
That checked out and that helped us, and that we didn't have to take a deposition of.
Where are my lawyers in chat? By the way, that sounds exactly like a guy dodging a subpoena. If you serve me with a subpoena and I make a phone call to you and I'm like, hey, so I saw you have this shit that you either want like some kind of, you know, testimony, you want to depose me, you want some records. Can we, like, let's just chat a little bit, okay? And we can like smooth over this. Like, we don't have to go down this road. Like, let me just tell you a few things, right? That's exactly what that is, by the way. And he even says it kind of, where he's like, yeah, you know, you don't have to depose me.
That I wanted to talk to them. He is the only person who picked up the phone and said, let's just talk. I'll give you as much time as you want. I'll tell you what you need to know, and was very helpful in the information that he gave, and gave no indication whatsoever that he was involved in anything.
Think about how much of a lot, like, he was helpful with the information that he gave. What a weird sentence. See, he's not going to say with all the information or like it, you know, like, he's going to be careful with his words here, because obviously I think this guy is like lawyer adjacent or a lawyer. But he doesn't want to incriminate himself in what he's saying. But like, listen to that sentence. That sentence is strange. There's no way a lawyer should speak that way unless he's running cover for something.
No indication whatsoever that he was involved in any. I'll tell you what you need to know, and was very helpful in the information that he gave.
Any information that someone gives you can be helpful with the way that they're giving it to you. That sentence means nothing. Well, honestly, I don't even know what that sentence means. Okay? Like, I honestly do not know what that sentence means. Like, think about it like this, okay? If someone calls you up and you give information to them, unless, like, you're reluctant to give the information, all information that you're receiving is helpful. You're looking for a thing, someone is offering you information, and then at that point, you have to critically analyze the information. What is it? He was helpful with the information that he gave. What does that mean?
And gave no indication whatsoever that he was involved in anything untoward whatsoever, but had good information.
Untoward, out. Hold on, untoward whatsoever? Like, this dude is literally using lawyer talk to say that, like, Donald Trump didn't do it without saying Donald Trump didn't do it. This way, if it gets proven that he did, and he has information about it, you know what I mean? Like, this is bullshit. This is PR talk. This is crap. If someone talks to you like this way in a situation, then they are hiding something. This is a red flag as much as there was one. And if this is your smoking gun that Donald Trump was against Jeffrey Epstein because he gave some information to someone, didn't I say it in one of my videos that, like, selective transparency, that's something that I believe in. Selective transparency is just as bad as lying. It's another form of lying. I'm going to give you the information that makes me look good, but I'm not going to give you the whole context of the story that could also probably properly fill out the rest of the information present in this, to, like, give you a fuller view of what I'm actually trying to say.
Anything untoward whatsoever, but had good information that checked out and that helped us, and that we didn't have to take a deposition of him.
That was in 2009?
That was in 2009.
How nice that you didn't have to take a deposition from him. How wonderful. Because then that information would be official and go on the record. And then he would have to swear to an actual court about what he's saying and swear that he's telling you the truth. And then if he gets caught lying, then, then he can be, disciplined accordingly. I have no indication whatsoever that he's involved in anything untoward whatsoever. Why would he?
Didn't have to take a deposition means nothing was said under oath. He
Yep.
didn't sign on to any statements for contempt or perjury, liability or accountability. He just had a call on the phone. Like, that's the opposite of informing or testifying or anything. And it sounds like a guy who...
I'm so glad that there are still a handful of people on this goddamn planet in the alternative media sphere willing to be critical and analyze things. Everything Trump, I'm sorry, Destiny, don't hurt me. Everything Destiny just said is exactly what I've been trying to say. And there's a reason why he's one of the greats, man.
Who's trying to dodge a subpoena, if anything else. If you have any idea what the fuck you're talking about, that would be evidence to the contrary, but okay.
Confirm that Trump did help. It shows that he was involved.
This is why I don't trust any fucking media summarizing anything. Like, if I hadn't been aware of that thing, then I wouldn't even know. And then I would have to be aware of also of, like, legal shit to know. Because I guess if I didn't know anything about the legal process, that kind of sounds like Trump is helping. But it's not. This is Trump literally dodging. Sorry, fuck, I hate these people. Ugh.
The attorney knows, the victims know, everybody knows. He knows it's not a hoax. He was, in fact, involved in it. So now it's because Mike Johnson, maybe he had a verbal hiccup, right? But when the attorneys for the victims confirm that Trump did help, it shows that he was involved. And again, normally...
Hi, this is Donald Trump. I'd like to give you some information about something untoward stuff I've been involved in.
They don't pick somebody out of the street to be involved. They pick someone who was already involved and that they had evidence against.
Well, with all of that context in mind, you know, Congressman Thomas Massie, a libertarian who is really at odds with Donald Trump on this issue, recently went on ABC's This Week, and he had some thoughts of his own. Let's take a look.
The lawyers for the victim said that Donald Trump had been helpful in 2009.
Oh, God. Thomas, don't do it. Please be critical. Please be critical. Rump kicked Jeffrey out of Mar-a-Lago over a real estate deal. Exactly, dude. And also stealing his employees. Apparently, at least according to Trump, that's why he did it. Yeah, it's all bullshit, dude.
In their case by giving them information, but being an informant implies some formal connection and ongoing relationship with the FBI. I don't know what that's all about. I think the speaker needs to clarify that. And if it's a hoax, why was Donald Trump an informant to a hoax?
Yeah, then Trump...
Oh, thank you, Massey. I swear to God, we might disagree on a few things on this planet. There's still reasonable Republicans. You've reinstated my faith in humanity. It's barely clinging on a fucking thread here, dude. It's barely hanging on, but
does continue referring to this as a hoax. So if there's evidence that the president of the United States, at a time when he wasn't president,
he just said people though, not employees. So, okay, my apologies. I watched it like a month ago, dude.
Of course, back in 2009, was cooperating with the FBI, potentially serving as an FBI informant. What has happened that leads him to now refer to this very real issue as a hoax? Again, it's not a hoax.
Yes, at least Anna is being critical here. Oh, thank God. I mean, I can't stand her anymore. Like, her whole, like, I agree with some of the things she said in the past, especially about crime and stuff like that. But especially when she was nearly assaulted by a homeless man in California. But yes, like at least she's giving some pushback here.
And one more thing about that. Think about it. If Donald Trump had voluntarily helped to get relief for those victims, is there any chance he wouldn't brag about it? Okay.
There is no chance. Like, he would definitely brag about it because it would make him look good. It would
make him look amazing.
Right.
Check your Discord. Yes, there are Discord outages or something right now. I see that. There's something I can do about it.
Oh, so that was it. Discord was having outages yesterday. That's why I was freaking out. Okay, cool.
The one guy who helped, that just volunteered out of nowhere and said to the FBI, you know what, I'm not sure about this guy. And maybe he did it for bad reasons. Oh, we had a property fight and he took some of my masseuses and from Mar-a-Lago, whatever. But it doesn't matter. If he did the right thing out of nowhere and volunteered, he should get an enormous amount of credit. I've never known Donald Trump not to want to get the credit that he deserves. So that's why the alternate explanation.
Okay, so what a fucking childish view that Cenk just put out. He's saying because Donald Trump is Donald Trump and Donald Trump likes to brag, that if he did something positive for the world, he would just be bragging about it. What about the fact that Donald Trump possibly could have been having sex with minors or some of this terrible shit that was happening on Epstein's Island? Maybe he just wants to be completely far away from it as possible. Maybe he's trying to give a little bit of information so people get off his ass, and then he's going to disappear and hope to God it disappears. Like any rational thinking person on planet would do if he were committing such terrible atrocities. Hold on. What a fucking brain dead take, this motherfucker. I hate the world sometimes, man.
Get an enormous amount of credit. I've never known Donald Trump not to want to get the credit that he deserves. So that's why the alternate explanation of he's desperately trying to hide that he was an FBI informant is because of why he was an informant.
God, my mind is like blown right now because there's more to the story. As you
Why did you buy that, Anna? That wasn't even a good argument. Are you buying that because he's technically your boss? What the fuck?
You can imagine, right? So, look, the DOJ is fighting very hard to cover certain things up that don't need to be covered up. So, I'll give you an example. There's an NBC News exclusive. You can read for yourselves. It's titled DOJ names of 2 associates Epstein wired $100,000 and $250,000 should stay secret. That's what the DOJ says, right? The Justice Department request came out.
No shit. Because why would you? Well, fuck. Never mind. Never mind. My audience is brain. You guys are brain broken on this too. Never mind. Every single aspect of this investigation should just be leaked. Every single part of it, because every single person involved is guilty. Yes.
After NBC News asked a federal judge to unseal the names of 2 people Epstein paid and helped protect from prosecution. So NBC News has requested that this, federal judge essentially overseeing the Epstein case unseal those 2 names. Who did Jeffrey Epstein send $100,000 to and $250,000 to back in 2018 as that case was being revisited? That sweetheart deal that he received in 2008 was being revisited. So the first associate received a payment of $100,000 from Epstein, and the second associate received a payment of $250,000, both in 2018. Days after the Miami Herald began publishing a series of investigative stories where victims criticized a plea deal he received.
Destiny, lawyer in chat here. That is a fucking terrible excuse and is 100% trying to dodge a subpoena. If not under oath, it means 0. True. And if I was a client, I feel like I would be fucking mad, right? If we're serving subpoenas, the idea is supposed to be that this person has information that can help me with my claim. And now if my lawyer tells me, hey, just so you know, I went ahead and I called this guy and he actually said he had nothing, just so you know. And I was like, can you tell me what you guys talked about? I was like, oh, maybe, maybe not. But I have no record of it. And now our subpoena on him is just canceled? The fuck? Who are you representing here? The other guy or me,
Yeah.
Florida 2008. Now, as part of that plea agreement, Epstein secured a statement from federal prosecutors in Florida that the 2 individuals would not be prosecuted. Now, by the way, gross. Why? Why would anyone agree to that? But prosecutors wrote that on November 30th, 2018, Epstein wired $100,000 from a trust account he controlled to an individual named as, redacted, a potential co-conspirator, and for whom Epstein obtained protection in the NPA. So prosecutors also wrote that this individual was also named and featured Trump.
I couldn't remember why I unfollowed these guys. Thanks for this. You guys are giving me hope for the world, man. My biggest fear, and it's gonna sound disingenuous, and I apologize a great deal. Okay, because I've been on YouTube for a long time, very unsuccessfully, and some could still argue that I'm not very successful. But I feel like I'm as rich as a man can be. I feel like my success is already here. I got me my quaint little audience that I'm perfectly happy with. I've watched a lot of the content creators that I've grown to love. As an American, I apologize for him trying to turn Canada into a state. I'm an American too, buddy. I'm trying to start the legal process of immigrating here. Hopefully it's not going to be as hard as America. Maybe I could just claim asylum. You know what I mean? Anyway, I saw a lot of the content creators, a lot of them. Even people I'm still subscribed to today on the left be pretty far left. And it was kind of like an eye-opening experience. So when I started getting into content again, and it started getting steam, and I started getting a little bit of an audience, and then, I was watching Ren's music, and Ren's music came off very left-leaning. I was like, shit. I feel like it's about to be one of those moments where I'm about to have an eye-opening experience, and my audience is going to be like far left, and I'm not there, So like seeing you guys not jump on board with some of this shit is like the most heartwarming experience ever. You guys are just like, I thought I was at the end of the world with some of the radical feminism and minimist and all this other stuff, and just seeing regular people with regular opinions is like reshaping my black pill. Oh, but man, there are some crazy people out there. Canada actually has a U.S. political refugee process. I might need to start that. I might need to start that.
Prominently in the Miami Herald series. There's more. Prosecutors added that the same records show that just 3 days later, on or about December 3rd, 2018.
Really? You're saying someone giving sufficient info to get an arrest? Well, first of all, this is for a civil case, not for arrest. Like your house camera footage, it makes you look less guilty or involved if they have to subpoena you to get it. Yes, because let's say somebody subpoenas me and they say, Destiny, I want all of your Discord logs with my mom. Okay? Now, let's say that I call you and I'm like, hey, listen, I see that you want to shoot me the subpoena. How about we cancel this and I'll just send you everything I've got? And you're like, oh, okay. Well, let's say that I don't send you all my logs with your mom. Let's say I just send you the last month or two's worth and all of the super Racy logs are, you know, all of our crazy conversations are from a year ago. Well, if that happens and I withhold some of that and I lie about giving it all to you, you go through your case and you lose because you don't have that information.
And because it wasn't under oath, you can't hold the person accountable for it. Oh my God, fuck. Cha-ching! And I have only been in Canada for about a week. I think it's a week tomorrow. It'll be 7 days tomorrow. I got here Wednesday. I actually hit the Canadian border at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday.
Now about me banging your mom, what are you gonna do? You can't hold me. You can't hold me liable for any of that. What do you mean? None of this was under oath. None of this was compelled by. You can't hold me in contempt. You can't do anything. You know, you eat shit. Get fucked. You didn't come at me with a civil subpoena that's enforceable via contempt with the court. I just made a personal phone call and gave you what I said I had, and that's it.
The defendant wired $250,000 from the same trust account.
We found you for a reason. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Well, and also I spent a lot of time on Twitter. Oh my God, dude. That's where your soul goes to die.
To redacted, this is the second individual who was also named as a potential co-conspirator and for whom Epstein also obtained protection in the NPA. So clearly Epstein was attempting to influence possible witnesses or co-conspirators, because like why else would you send such a large sum of money to these two different individuals? And last month, NBC News sent a letter asking the U.S. District Judge Richard Berman to unseal the redacted names, arguing that, look, Epstein's dead, okay, criminal proceedings in this case have ended. The DOJ has made clear last summer, in July, that there would be no additional charges filed against uncharged third parties, so let us have the names. What's the problem with the names? And Trump's Justice Department is fighting tooth and nail to prevent the release of those two redacted names.
Yeah, so when I first saw the story, I thought, maybe they were victims and he's doing hush money. But then once you read it, no, it's super clear. They're co-conspirators and they would have been charged along with him. So they're the guilty, right? And he gets the money and he says, please don't prosecute them. And for some ludicrous reason, our government
The donor
agrees, okay?
class.
And remember, at that point, Epstein got the lightest sentence anybody's ever gotten. He can go in and out of jail. It was basically a hotel
donor
fraud, right?
class.
2008. So that's when he says, okay, don't prosecute these guys and sends them the money, okay? So, but when NBC News is asking for it, Epstein's already dead, so he has no rights anymore. And the government has said there will be no further prosecutions. So NBC is rightly saying, and by the way, great job by NBC News here, saying, hey, then there's no reason legally to hold those names from the public.
Well, the damaged party wouldn't be Epstein. It would be the people whose names would be leaked.
Yep.
Right.
So then the Department of Justice jumps in and goes, no, don't tell anybody about those names. Now, if you were trying to protect the victims, that's super weird. If you're trying to protect the guilty, that makes sense.
Why are you saying the guilty? Not only have these people not been convicted of any crimes, these people weren't even charged with crimes. There wasn't even probable cause to charge them with a crime or to even attempt to solicit an indictment from a grand jury. And you're already calling them guilty? Jesus.
My God, dude. I don't think there's hope for the world.